Are you an owner of a business and you're still adding your leads into your CRM application manually? Then this video is just for you. So hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we're going to learn how to add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Salesforce for interior designing work. So I'm an owner of an interior designing business and using IndiaMART, I receive a lot of leads and inquiries for my business. Here what I want is that as soon as one of the potential customers or clients, a new lead is going to be generated using IndiaMART and I'm going to receive the lead details. What I want is I want to add that lead in my Salesforce account. Now creating these leads manually is very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between IndiaMART and Salesforce with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Salesforce for interior designing business. So as an owner of an interior designing business, I rely on IndiaMART to connect with my potential clients. At the same time, I use Salesforce to manage my client relationships and sale pipelines efficiently. To save time and reduce the risk of missing leads, I've automated the transferring of IndiaMART leads directly into my Salesforce. With this automation, every time a new lead is generated on IndiaMART, they are automatically added to my Salesforce. This ensures my leads are managed in one certain platform, making it easier to prioritize follow-ups, enhance customers' experience, and streamline my sales workflow. And I'm going to create the automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. But as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the products that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Salesforce for interior designing work. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I have created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select IndiaMART Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Salesforce for interior designing business, and you can see there are two windows in front of you. One says trigger, other says action. So what is trigger and action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is the response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as IndiaMART. As with the help of IndiaMART, I receive a lot of leads and inquiries for my business. I want that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMART account, automatically away the trigger should capture the response of that. And that is why for my trigger application, I have selected it as IndiaMART, and for the trigger event I'm going to select it as new leads. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with the webhook URL. Using this unique webhook URL, we are going to build the connection between IndiaMART and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. So what I'm going to do is firstly I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my IndiaMART account that I want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So this is my IndiaMART account, you can see right here, and I want to connect this account to Pabbly Connect. In order to do that, from the left side of the panel, go to the lead manager option right here. After coming to lead manager page, we have to go to the menu option right here, click on it, and from the drop down go to import/export export leads. After coming to import/export leads, from the drop down, click on this push API button right here. After coming to push API integration, this window is going to appear in front of you, in which it is asking for us to select the source first. So in the drop down over here, the given source is not provided. So for the source over here, I'm going to select it as other right here. As I'm going to do that, this dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the CRM platform name and the URL. For the platform name over here, I'm going to write my platform name, that is Pabbly Connect. And for the URL field, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. After entering the platform name and the URL, click on the Save Details button right here. As we're going to do that, it is asking for the reason why are we activating this API. For that, select the random reason from the drop down and click on this button right here. As I've done that, you can see the webhook URL has now been successfully added to my IndiaMART account. As now the URL is successfully added to my IndiaMART account, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. You can see over here it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether IndiaMART is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a test lead for my business. And after generating the test lead, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test lead being generated or not. For generating the test lead for my IndiaMART account, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into my user account. So this is my IndiaMART's user account. With the help of this account, I'm going to generate the test lead. Okay. Firstly, over here it is asking for us to select the service. So I have created a dummy product. Okay. So that I'm going to search over here. So this is a dummy product that I've created. I'm going to select it, and using this dummy product, I'm going to generate the test lead. For that, I'm going to click on this contact supplier button right here. It is asking for all these details. I'm going to select the details over here. Then I'm going to click on this next button. It is asking for the inquiry. For the inquiry over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it as, so this is the inquiry that I have. This is the test inquiry, that is looking to renovate a 3 BHK apartment in Mumbai with modern minimalistic design. Require consultation and furniture placement and lighting. Okay, so this is the detail. So this is the inquiry that I have. Now I'm going to click on this next button. It is asking for the GST number. So I'm going to enter a dummy GST number right here. And then I'm going to click on this submit button right here. It says thank you for posting requirement. This means now this inquiry is successfully generated. As now the test inquiry is generated, you can see right over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my workflow and check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the test lead being generated or not. For that, I'm going to open my Pabbly Connect account. So this is my workflow created, and if I'm going to scroll down, and yes, you can see right over here, Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the test lead being generated. Status comes as success. This is the inquiry ID. Subject, this is the dummy subject right here. Leads state over here comes as Madhya Pradesh. Name of the lead is Angel. For the phone number, this is the phone number of our lead. Email as testuser@pabblytudes.com. Country as IN, that is India. Company as test company. City as Bhopal. State as Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. And over here for the product name, this was the dummy product name that we have created. And for the inquiry message, you can see right over here, this is the same message that we have forwarded as an inquiry. It says looking for to renovate 3 BHK apartment in Mumbai with modern minimalistic design. Require consultation on furniture placement and lighting. Okay, and the details that we have selected is right here. As now the response of the lead being generated has been captured in our workflow, this means that IndiaMART is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. Now whenever by any of the potential customers or clients, a new lead is going to be generated using IndiaMART, automatically in the similar manner, Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. My objective is that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated by the potential customers or clients using IndiaMART, I want to add that lead into my Salesforce account. Now for that, we're going to set up our action step, and for the action application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Salesforce, and for the action event over here, I'm going to select it as create lead. Okay, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you have. After that, click on connect with Salesforce. A window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As this is saved present, my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button right here. As I've done that, you can see we have successfully authorized Salesforce to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing over here, it is asking for all these details using which we are going to create a lead in our Salesforce account. So for the data of these fields, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we could insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how it works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, you can see this was the previous step of this workflow. As I'm going to click on it, this is the same response that was captured in our previous step with our lead details. It is asking for the lead's last name. So over here, I'm going to search for the name right over here. And I'm going to create this lead that was generated using IndiaMART account in my Salesforce account. So for the data of this field of the last name, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the data from my previous response of my lead's name. Over here, for the name of my lead, I've just received the first name of my lead. So for the last name, as it is required, what I'm going to do is I'm going to map the data of the first name of my lead as the last name over here. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I have mapped the data has now become dynamic. Now, whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data. Similarly, for the first name, I'm going to search for the name right here. I'm going to map the data of the first name. Next, it is asking for the titles. For the title over here, I'm going to write it as New IndiaMART lead. Okay, so this is the title. For the company over here, we received the response of the company. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to map the data of the company right here. Okay, for the phone number over here, I'm going to map the data of the phone number that I've received, that is right here. I'm going to map the data. For the email over here, I'm going to map the data of the email that I've received right here. I'm going to map the data right here. Okay. Next, it is asking for the website, which I do not require. So I'm going to skip the part. For the description over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to map the data of the message that I've received in my previous response. For the description over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to map the data of the message that I've received in my previous response. That was the inquiry of my lead right here. Okay. Next, it is asking for the lead source. You can see in the drop down, the lead source is not been provided. So I'm going to toggle this map button on, remove the existing data from here, and I'm going to write the lead source over here manually, that is IndiaMART lead. Okay, this is the lead source. For the status over here, I'm going to select as open, not contacted. For the rating, I'm going to select it as hot. It is asking for the address. For the address, I've received the address right here, so I'm going to map the data of the address. For the city over here, I'm going to map the data of the city that I've received in my previous response right here. And for the country, I've received the data of the country, so I'm going to map the data of the country right here. Okay, after filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I've done that, we have received a response in which we have received the ID, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my Salesforce account to check whether a new lead has been created in my Salesforce account or not. For that, I'm going to open my Salesforce account. So this is my Salesforce account, and I'm going to go to the lead section of my Salesforce account. If I'm going to refresh this page over here, you can see right away in the recent items, a new lead has been created. I'm going to open this. A lead has been created over here in the name of Angel. You can see right here. This is the mobile number of the lead. Email is testuser@pabblytudes.com. Title as New IndiaMART lead. Company as test company. Status as open, not contacted. Rating as hot. You can see right here. For the address, it comes over here as Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal, India. That is IN with the description that was the inquiry. You can see right here. Okay. As now the lead has been successfully added in my Salesforce account, this means that we have successfully created an automation between IndiaMART and Salesforce with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of an interior designing business, and using IndiaMART, I receive a lot of leads from my potential customers or clients. What I've done is that over here for my trigger, I've selected as IndiaMART new leads, as whenever a new lead is going to be generated by the potential customers or clients using IndiaMART, over here the trigger is going to capture the response of that. And for the action over here, I've set it up as Salesforce create lead, as now the lead that is generated using IndiaMART is been added in my Salesforce account with the help of this action step. And using Pabbly Connect, I've set up the connection between these two applications. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.